Right. All right, so what we got tonight? Well, we've got a brand new model. Look at this. This is a brand new model that I've installed on top of the stock one. This is an F-16 Charlie Mike Block 52. We've got a brand new 3D model. This is and the texture 4K texture on this one, and this is great. I mean, look at the detail. You'll see that I do some external screenshots and views so you can review it while we're flying. That's going to be really nice to fly in this baby. Meanwhile, what are we going to do this evening? Well, um, as always, when it comes to runway strike, you have to put a bit of challenge. So will be a flight of 2 ships. Here, we are basically Falcon 1. Well, suits well the name of the plane itself. As you can see, there will be a few things that will be quite challenging, especially here. I don't know if this is going to be okay or not. But basically, the AC3 here is in the airfield that we're going to strike is basically in the um, engagement ring that we have here in red of the AC3 here. So I don't say it's going to be easy. Far from that. It's going definitely to be challenging. We'll have to um, get to the runway here without triggering it, or at least whenever we go out of the airfield, we'll have to do a left turn, always left turn, because otherwise we'll be moving forward to the AC3 and in its full potential engagement range, which this is definitely not what we want to achieve here. Let me check this one. Why is there no ring on this one? Oh, because this is a triple A. Yeah, usually I don't put rings on triple A, but for this one especially, we'll do that. We'll add a pre-planned steer point. Triple A. Hold on. Just to mark it as potentially harmful. There you go. And when it comes to the recon that we'll do here, let's do the recon. So this is the airfield. So a bit about the context. Basically, the airfield has been processed before by another flight that removed all the air defenses from the airfield. So as you can see, the airfield itself is a bit naked. Well, it's naked in terms of air defenses, which suits us well, to be honest. Um, and yeah, we'll be basically striking those runways. Um, and just because we have Tupolev departing from this airfield, and the intel says that the Tupolev should be departing around 10:15. So we definitely need to strike the runway before before the Tupolevs actually take off from the airfield. So yeah, we definitely have to strike those runways and making sure that they don't take off. They're supposed to strike I think an army base in South Korea around there, and we definitely want to avoid that. We'll be passing through those two SA2. My strategy here is to go really low level. We'll try to use the hills and everything we have at disposal to avoid the SAM's launch and lock. And you see, we are kind of really at the edge of every engagement circle that we have here. So this is where it's going to be tricky, to be honest. Anyway, the OCA strike is going to be low altitude for sure. As you can see, we have, if we check the weapons that we have, we'll take with us the BLU 107, and so we'll basically strike the runway like that. We could take other kinds of bombs, but we'll definitely try those ones because I definitely want to play it the hardest level. All right, so there we go. We'll be departing from Seosan airfield. Let me save the. I've got already the comms set in. Checking now. Yeah, so Uniform and Victor both to Seosan Air Base. That's good. I've not set any specific target. I'll do an CCIP engagement with the BLU, and I'll space them. I could actually try to figure out how long I should put the spacing for the longest runway. So let's check the runway again and turn a bit. There we go. And let's go for the longest runway. And let's see how trying to get the length of the runway itself. We can try to imagine. So there we go. Let me try to get the middle runway. Trying to get the information. 9,000 feet slant range, which means that as usual, I'll put the maximum spacing between the bombs around, around 800 something, 850, 825 spacing between each drop, and we'll try to be as. The thing is that we won't especially try to follow the entire runway full length. The most efficient way is to start on the runway and go a bit cross both runways, so you can hit actually both of them. So whenever I drop a bomb, it will drop on the runway. I will try to actually drop it on the runway and damage those two, because if we can do the maximum damage in one pass, that would obviously be the most efficient way of going through that. All right, so what do we have in the vicinity? We have AWACS, although it's not really needed at this time. We have an escort for the AWACS. We have a defense, air defense here, so they will be defending this area here. I made sure that we're not being engaged by the SA-2. We've got a dead strike, so those guys will be popping out the SA-2 here, so we have a safe zone to get back to the airfield. And definitely we hope they will succeed in that, because it will be well appreciated that we don't have to cross again low altitude everything here. There's going to be a DCA, enemy DCA around the area here, so we'll see if they see us and if they start engaging us. I definitely hope they won't, but you never know. So we have to be careful. It's full of danger. We are a bit alone, and we definitely have to succeed in order to avoid the triple F to take off from their airfield. All right, so I guess that's it from our side. I'll be now assigning myself to the plane, and let's do the ram start and everything. All right, so let's take off now. All right, so we'll start with the ram start. Everything looks good. I hope I won't face any major bug. Usually it's quite stable, so we'll hope that it will continue. All right, setting up the track IR. My joystick with it. And waiting for the 20 minutes. All right, 10 seconds. All right, we are in. Hold on. Okay. All right, so let's start now. Battery on. Testing. Working fine. Now to main power. Fuel to normal. Cooling systems to normal. I have to set back my track AR. It's not as efficient as I would like. Hold on a sec. There we go. Okay, so we've got that. Okay, we'll set up the lights. Flash. There go in. We'll do the anti-collision while taxiing. Okay, so we'll start the engines. First, let me drop down the canopy and arm my seat. There we go. And now let's start. Starting engine. All right, so let's focus now on the RPMs. We'll have to wait for the 20. 20%. There we go. We now go into the latch stuff. And there we go. Good start. Okay, so now the engine started correctly. We now have power and we can start the systems. Alright, so now the MFDs, UFC, data link, GPS, starting the alignment process. Right now we'll be powering on the defensive systems, electronic warfare systems. Putting that to standby, HUD display, well, heads-up display, sorry. Comms, I should have done that earlier to both. Missile, I'll do that here. Intercom on, ILS on. The UFC, I'll set that later on once I've started correctly and loaded correctly the EDSS system. And yep, all right. So now we start this few tests that we have. Fuel test 6,000. Okay, and now let's head back to this panel. So test. There we go. Probe heat test. Good. Oxygen, engine fire, yeah, good. Oxygen quantity, good.
Pull up. Altitude.
Let's check the lights and
Warning.
warnings.
Jammer. Counter. Chaff flare.
Everything seems to
Low.
be lighting up
Out.
correctly.
Lock. IFS. Caution. Bingo.
Alright, this is fine. Testing the electronic flight systems. Good. EPU. Alright, so now we need to get to 80%. Somehow around 80%. There we go. And we should have a green light. Air lighting up. And the green light. There we go. EPU system tested. Alright, so that now we'll have the plane doing his own bit tests regarding the flight control systems, and we can start loading up the data cartridge that we have for the mission. Alright, so that data cartridge loaded, and now powering up the UFC and binding it to the dead system. Add. Alright, and okay, so now we're waiting for the alignment, and the radar test is almost okay now. So the radar test is done, nothing being reported. Takeoff landing config, that's normal. The bit test is still ongoing, and the bit test has just stopped and is successful. So we're good on that level. Forgot the ECM system, so now it's powered on. As you can see, we don't have the auto-degraded warning here. And one thing I forgot, we need to have the end off activated. There we go. So we have already the F-15s in flight. I'll set that to continuous, and I'll set up once we're in flight. The alignment process is still ongoing. While I'm there, I'll do the other things, such as I don't know, I need to set up the data link. Bingo 4000, that's correct. I'll set up now the air to ground stuff. So as we'll be using the BLU, I will be launching those in CCIP. I have 6 of them. I'll be releasing in single release. I'll release 6 of them continuously, and the separation between impact spacing, as I told you before, I'm going to aim for something like, you know what, let's try something like 750 feet. So it gives us time and proper spacing. Arming delay, that needs to be way lower. I think I'll cancel the arming delay. I probably like half a second, or yeah, 0 fits me well, and that either 0 second. It's armed directly when dropped from the aircraft. All right, so we already pre-set up that stuff. Let's go back to the normal mode and navigation display. Let's check the failures panel. Okay, so everything has been tested. We clear out this panel, and we're fine. No new errors showing up. No warning popping up. So for now, we're good to go. And let me review actually a few things. So let's get back to the so now I'll set up my cursor for the time over steer point. Checking now, the departure time is 9:45:30. So I have a bit of time ahead. We'll be departing in 10 minutes from now. I have a couple minutes before I need to align myself and get on the taxiway. And that's it for now. Alignment process is done. So I can set that to navigation, and now we have the flight plan. Alright, so we'll select directly steer point number 2. and start contacting the tower. So, yep. We'll first ask the QNH.
Falcon 1, pay me, approach 1037.
1037. Alright, so we're good to go. So I'll set up now the anti-collisions. Flash. There we go. Oh no, sorry, that's my bad. Not the anti-collision yet. I told that I will bring up this one once ready for taxi. Let me check the tech and stuff. 52 X-ray, that's fine. If I check now the ILS panel, I've got one. All right, 50. Well, yeah, it seems to be okay. The data cartridge actually loaded up correctly. And yep, I think we're pretty okay to start. So I'll bring up the lights for the taxi. And contact now the tower to start our taxi procedure. I'll set up the parking brake, remove the chokes from the ground. So yep, again, some chokes. There we go. And meanwhile, before we ask for taxi, let me show you this new 3D model Charlie Mike version of this. That nothing yes, except the terrain itself. The model here is beautiful. Oh, we've got the logos from us, but here. Those are the logos from us. Alright. Hope you enjoyed this view of this little beauty. Alright, so back. Yeah, we're back in the cockpit now. And yeah, we'll request the taxi to runway. Alright, so Falcon 11 Amy Tower, 2 ships for package 5718, ready to taxi to runway.
Falcon 1-1, ready for departure. Taxi, runway 20 right.
20 right,
Hold
Falcon
short.
11. Okay, so we need to hold short, but I don't know why, honestly. I don't see any other aircraft in the vicinity. Alright, so let me pull back the Tri-KR and let's start taxi. So the nozzle steering is now on. Removing the parking brake. And there we go. And now we're on starting taxiing. I've said I will put now the anti-collision on. There we go. And runway 20.
Falcon 1-2, taxi, runway 20 right.
Taxiing 20 right, Falcon 11. Alright, so the runway's here. It's 9:39, so we have a bit more than 5 minutes to before takeoff, official takeoff. And if we've got clearance a bit earlier, I would say I'd like to take it if we can. And by the way, hi to the people already in the chat, especially to Miss Copilot and Mr. Stalin Dark, which I know really loves and would like to fly on BMS more often. I've not seen you streaming yet on BMS. I hope you'll be able soon. Anyway, Alright, so parking brakes again. We'll be waiting here until the tower grants us the authorization to go. Alright, let's review what we have. Alright, my wingman is just behind, coming up. Oh, I've got 60 FPS, so it's quite stable. And I'll be recording the flight just for further analysis afterwards. Alright, so whenever you want. Yeah, we have a couple minutes and we were really close from the runway itself, so we have to wait a bit. Meanwhile, we can already pre-check and pre-configure some stuff. Alright, there we go. Got that link. Threats. Missiles. I'll put that like that. Okay, there we go. I think I'll start. I'm just not willing to wait that long. I'll do the wind check.
Falcon 1-1, wind check.
For knots.
Falcon 1-1, a main approach, 180 at 04 knots.
Okay. Alright, 3 minutes to go. Here for takeoff. Official takeoff, I would say. Official takeoff time. Alright, so Mr. Tao would like to go.
Falcon 1-1, ready for departure. Taxi, runway 20 right.
Meanwhile, I'll change
Hold short.
DT to blah blah blah. Terrain following radar. It's off, probably because I've not set in the low altitude camera. So yeah, I won't have this. Unfortunately, I'll have to do it manually. That will be a bit more challenging, but who cares?
Falcon 1-1, a main tower. You're cleared for takeoff. Runway 20
Oh,
right.
there we go. Alright, so Falcon 1-1, clear for takeoff, runway 20 right. Lining up on the left side of the runway. So my wingman has space to Alright. Okay. And after takeoff, so I'll be... So for takeoff instructions, it will be a gate takeoff procedure. Wingman will follow, well, I don't control him actually, so it will be aiming for 350. Once we reach 350, we'll pull back to Buster and do a right turn for steer point number 2. Alright, so run up. 80%. Engine stable. Alright, everything stable. Releasing brakes. Gate.
1-1. Amy Tower, resume on navigation.
Amy Tower, this is Falcon 1-1, we're airborne. Alright, switching for 350. Okay, 350, back to Buster. And right.
Falcon 1-2. Amy Tower, resume on navigation.
2, airborne.
Alright, so wingman is airborne. There we go. I'll zoom out a bit the flight plan. Continue my right turn while my wingman is rejoining. I'm losing altitude. I need to continue my climb towards waypoint number 2. I'll keep somehow 7 degrees and aim directly for waypoint number 2. There we go. Now focusing on the radar, 80 miles. We already have an ECM trace that we see here, the double chevron here that we have. So yeah, nothing really bad for now. And we should already have the F-15s in flight, to be honest. So good evening, Vinny 001. Alright, so let's read this beauty.
In position.
Alright, so Falcon 1-1 to flight, switching to uniform 6. Falcon 1, radio check. And we suppose that Falcon 1-2 has replied uniform 6. Alright, wingman's here. I'll ask him to do a close-up. Ask to blue wing.
Falcon 1-2, fourth wing.
And so it'll be close. It will be slowly joining up with me. Alright, you have to get here faster. Come here faster. What do we have as option? Close up, switch side. Alright, close up.
Falcon 1-2, close up formation.
2, closing up.
You better close up, yeah. Alright, so let's control the, oh yeah, we passed the 14,000, so back to the standard altimeter. 1013. And we'll be aiming for 22. Okay, we're almost there. Starting waypoint number 3, I'll be I'll be basically falling down from the sky and try to get as low as possible. So we'll have to be really careful when it comes to following the flight plan, because remember, we're having those two guys here that have one thing in mind, is shooting us down. So we obviously need to be careful with those two guys, and I definitely hope we'll get past through them. Meanwhile, I already see that I'm late, so we'll go gate for a moment and get this chevron back here. Let's see actually the next waypoint. Yeah, I'm still late. We definitely have to keep up with time, because remember, the Tupolev are not waiting for us. We need to shoot them down before they take off, actually. Alright, so now we stabilize and gain some speed. With the load that we have, I must not go over 0.95 Mach and 555 knots at lows at sea level. You see we have the BLUs here. There we go. Yeah, I have to calm down with the, remember 0.95. I need to be careful with that because then my wings will start wiggling. There's wing flex modeled, and if we go too fast, what happens is that the hard points here will get damaged. So I need definitely to stay below Mach 1 because I'm not suited to yeah, you hear that? I'm pushing the beast a bit too much, so I need to calm down with the speed. So what I can do is that I'm not going to go for a full buster here. I'll get something. I'll check the nose pose and try to maintain 0.95 just to get back with the I think we can crank up a bit. There we go. The fuel flow gauge is, wow, we're consuming fuel like we're breathing, like I'm breathing actually. I'm breathing fuel. And I need to be careful not to, to keep up a safe margin when it comes to objective. All right, switching up to the next waypoint, and there we go. We are way before. All right, we're a bit ahead in terms of schedule. Suits me well. Now we get back to full to Buster, and yeah, so we'll be trying to save up some fuel here. All right, so we already have the SA2 showing popping up here. I'm surprised I don't see the other, unless my other friends did already shoot down the other SAM. I'm not sure actually, but maybe they did already. They were supposed to be around the SA2, the right SA2, around 55 from the design of the mission. And there I see, as you can check here, I see ECM signatures. I definitely hope those are not enemies. I don't think so. I think those are friendlies. Let me request picture from the A1.
Chalice 1, Falcon 1-1. Request picture. Falcon 1-1, Chalice 1, picture clear.
Alright, so I'm good with that. Once I'm on top of waypoint 3, which is going to happen soon, I'll state that we go fence in. And actually I'll state that now, because we're moving really fast. So fence in, Falcon flight, fence in. Alright, and I'll also have Falcon flight music on. Alright, so fence in.
2, fenced in.
ECM on.
Falcon 1-2, music on.
And I'll say that it can already go free.
2.
Falcon 1-2, weapons free.
There we go. Alright, so now we've got
2. Will go.
Okay. Well, okay, so number 2 received the instructions. Oh, there we go. We have somebody's there. Okay. Alright, so let's now dive. So definitely I think the other SA2 has been processed. I don't see anything. The issue I'm already foreseeing is that I don't see any hills towards the path I selected. So I might get around a bit the flight plan to actually get in that valley here, and as much as I can avoid any luck from the AC2. Alright, I'll be lowering down the range from my radar. Those are the F-16.
Altitude. Altitude.
Alright, so we passed below 10,000. I forgot to set the electronic fire warfare system to manual. And an altitude now, I'll focus on the low threats altitude. Oh, we've got the AC-3 here. There we go. Alright, so now turning to protect myself in the valley and avoid any engagement. And I forgot about my ECM. Yeah, now I'm popping up the ECM. Alright, so now I'll be less on the instruments and more visual. I need to get a sit rep of basically whatever is happening around me. Alright, so now full buster. Getting back with the schedule. And we're trying to protect ourselves through the valley here. Alright, wingman is right there.
Altitude.
And I'll tell my wingman actually to go trail. Blah, 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 break left, go trail.
Falcon 1-2, go trail.
There you go, go behind me.
2, going trail.
Alright, we've got F-16 straight. There, those are friendlies, obviously. Alright, so let's go left a bit and get back to the flight plan while trying to avoid as much as we can the any enemies. Alright. Alright, so we've got mountain, we've got hills around, so that should be covering pretty much what we need to know in terms of we're hiding ourselves from the SAM systems. I'll get now to remove the low and hope I won't be gauged by the AC2, to be honest. We have not received any warning, and I guess the smoke that we have
2,
here
in position.
is the smoke that we have here. I think it was the AC2. I think it was the AC2. Yeah, it seems to be fair, yeah. Alright, so now we have to get back to the waypoint. Alright, pulling now the heads-up display. Sorry, the head-mounted system. And target, moving forward the waypoint. ACM is still enabled. I still have the C2. It's on my 10 o'clock. Should be around there, behind the valley. But it's you see, because thanks to the hills that we have there, basically it's it can't track me down. All right. we here? We're 6 nautical miles from the waypoint. Okay, reducing a bit power because I'll try to stick with the schedule. And yeah, I'm just checking if I see any contacts in the air, because obviously I'll check if I see anything, because I know there are some enemies aircraft around. Although I'm trying not to be detected, that can happen. All right, so now this one, the square steer point that we see here is the ingress point. So I'll be switching to my ground yep, to my bomb systems, and selecting the HST. As you can see, we're in CCIP mode, and the first thing I'll be trying is, alright, so we are now late on the schedule, so I need to get a bit faster while trying to avoid those air defense systems. There we go, new threat. Oh, AAA. There we go, AAA. I was expecting you to pop up at some point. Alright, so Falcon flight. We're over ingress point. Preparing the ordnance. There we go. Okay. Yep, the AC-3 is going to be our main threat here. I've got the mountain, and I'm something like 7 nautical miles from the air base. Is just behind the hill here. Oh, already. Okay, I already see the runways. Okay, so lining up.
Falcon 1-2, request permission to engage.
Go ahead. Engage. There you go. Weapons free.
Falcon 1-2, weapons free.
Okay, lining up with the runway.
2, Wilco.
There we go.
Bombs away. Bombs
Switching.
away. Bombs away. Bombs away. Bombs away.
Okay. AC-3. We've got launch.
Chaff, flare, chaff, flare. Chaff, flare,
Okay, chaffing, popping.
chaff, flare,
Popping chaff.
chaff, flare. Pull
Okay,
up, pull up.
the AC-3 lost luck on us. It's probably going to launch again. Oh, there we see the missile. Yeah. Oh, I see my bombs. As you can see, I damaged part of the runway. Okay, let's go over the target. Yeah, I know it's dangerous, but I'll try again. I don't have any bombs left. But I'm cool with that. I'll just tease the AC-3 again, so it can launch at me another missile. Where's my wingman? What did it? He has not done anything. Coward. I was a bit too early in the dropping. I got partial success on the runway. Okay, so let's see is going to... Yeah, I've got acquired. There we go. Missile launch, missile launch. Alright,
Chaff,
braking.
flare. Chaff, flare.
Alright, okay, lost track on me. Good stuff. Ah, yeah, missile on the ground. Yeah, we see the smoke. Alright. Okay, let's return back to base and get the AC-2. What I should have done, I think I should have aimed for the middle of the runway. Almost. So I should have been okay in this case. I have to be careful because I'm just playing with the SAM system, but meanwhile I'm not checking what's happening with the and what is 2 doing. Has he dropped his payload? All right, so now I'm being tracked. What is it doing? Resume mission.
Falcon 1-2, resume briefed flight plan.
2, roger.
Okay, say weapons. What do you have left?
Falcon 1-2, Falcon 1-1, weapons check.
Falcon
Seriously,
1-2,
he has not left.
6 arms.
All right. Thank you.
2 radar. 2 heat. Fuel safe 7, 2.
Okay.
2 engage defensive.
Well, if you were dropping your bombs, maybe you would do something. That II is dummy. Fence in. Buddy spike. Yeah, nothing to say. Great gun. Yep, nothing to say. Alright, well, too bad for the AI. Could have done a bit of help in the job. But as always, the AI, you can not really count on it. Okay, so now I'm being tracked by the SA-2. I'm entering the circle of threat at any moment now. And I'll monitor from where it's coming. It should be coming from there. There we go. Yep, there we go. I've been engaged. Still don't have any sight on the missile.
Pull up, pull up.
Got a second launch.
Chaff, flare.
Alright,
Chaff,
I
flare.
definitely need to do something
Chaff,
else.
flare.
It's getting more and more dangerous. Okay, we've got a third launch.
Chaff, flare. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Yep, lost
Low.
track. How many do I have left? Oh, 10 chaffs. I need to be careful with that. Go ahead, try to shoot me. I don't care anymore. Where is he? Behind me now. Ooh, see that? Should I feel lucky and try to engage the air defenses, guys? Okay, so let me try to regain a bit of altitude, get myself out of the perimeter from the SA-2. And now I've got ECM stuff just in front of me. So I think those are friendly. I'm declaring.
Chalice 1, Falcon 1-1.
Contact is
Declare.
friendly. Yeah, as I thought.
Falcon 1-1, Chalice 1. Contact is friendly.
All right, so now I'll declare to the AWACS that I'm checking in.
Chalice, ready to attack.
Yeah,
Falcon
enable,
1, Chalice 1,
adapt.
unable.
All right, so now we have the Patriots, so our friendly air defense system watching for us. But we're not that close actually, so we're not within protection from the Patriot system. All right, so let's jump to air-to-air. I stay my wingman to get back to base. Return to base.
Falcon 1-2, return to base.
Check my SSD. While
2, heading back to home plate.
yeah, go back. There we go. I think I burnt through. Yep, but I lost it. Lost it. Shit. I don't like that. Let me scan. Yeah. Got a better scan here. There you go. Oh yeah, got the AC3 now. Alright, now I've got the bandits in sight, and if I'm declaring those, I would
Chalice
guess
1,
those
Falcon
are
1-1,
friendlies.
declare. Falcon 1-1, Chalice 1, contact confirmed, hostile type 8 as MiG-23.
Yay! Got a good. Alright, so now I'll gain some altitude to get the advantage in terms of yeah, in terms of height. At least I have that playing for me. They're still at 18,000, and I'll play it with the TWS. So I'll pop up 2 AM 120. Those are MiG-23, so I can engage those at 18 max. After that, I'll need to pump or get away from their sight. Alright, now I have them on the RWR, so this is where it tends to be a bit more dangerous. And now I need to... Alright, so now...
1, Fox 3 medium.
Medium, yeah. Alright, the other one now. Alright.
1, Fox 3 medium.
Okay, so now flanking.
Chaff, flare.
1, Pitbull.
I'll try to stay within radar acquisition range.
1, Pitbull.
Alright, so the two missiles went Pitbull. And I've got visual on the bandits. I see they are popping flares. And trying to evade the AM 120 I've launched. I've seen a blow. Yeah, I've got a good splash, but still the other one is alive. Yeah, he's still popping flares.
Bingo, bingo.
Okay, and bingo, and last engagement, and then I need to get back to base.
Lock.
Alright, got a lock. So now he knows I'm just behind. Lose, yeah, lose. Yeah, that's because he's flanking. Alright, he's trying to gain altitude. Okay, almost in range. Alright, he's turning towards me, I guess. Alright.
Lock.
Okay, so now I've got a good lock. Yeah, I need to launch now.
Fox 2.
Engaging. Splash.
Altitude.
Got a good
Altitude.
splash. All right. Disengaging and getting back to base now. All right, we'll head directly on base. All right, so cruise, range, home plate. Yes. Oh shit, sorry. Home plate, yeah. What do they say? I need to climb. All right, okay, so I'll climb. Okay, I reset the radar. Okay, got the AC-3 tracking me, but is not within range to shoot me, so I'm safe for now. And I've got my ECM on. Doesn't really help a lot with those types of SAMs, but whatever I can take, I'll take it. My wingman is heading back to base. Meanwhile, I'm climbing to the optimal altitude to save as much fuel as I can. I'm positive for the home plate, so I'm good actually, and I'm positive like more than 2,000 pounds. So that's correct for now. Checking, I'm still not over the DMZ, so I'll still stay in. All right, now got the Patriot. Still climbing. Yeah, only have one Fox 2 left. Alright, I better not be engaged by anyone else. But as I created the mission, I can guarantee there's no one else. Next time I'll try to make it a bit more challenging. But honestly, next time I'll try to have actually someone flying with me, because it lacks a bit interest if you're not a couple people. If any interested in the audience, well, feel free to contact me. I'm already part of a squadron, French-speaking squadron, so that's not obviously always interesting for you guys, as you don't probably get what's being said in French. Alright, I think I'll stop the climb here. I'm high enough. Well, the experience is far better when it comes to flying with other humans. Definitely. I mean, for those who have experienced that, it's you can't go back actually playing solo. I do that to a bit advertise Falcon BMS, and because I do love this sim. Maybe I'll get back to X-Plane at some point once the X-Plane 11 is a bit more stable. I still have a few things I need to check. There are a few things I'm still having. I'm still working on X-Plane, such as the Smart Copilot for the 757 version 2. Facing some issues, so I'm definitely trying to pop those issues out. But that's not as easy as I was expecting, so we'll see about that later anyway. Alright, so now the ECM, I can switch it back to off, and yeah, go back to my fence out state. And I'll state exactly the same thing for my wingman. Fence out.
2, fence out.
And ECM off.
2,
Falcon 1-2, music.
2, music off.
Yeah, welcome to the BMS word then, Vinny. It's going to be a long road to learn, but there are a couple videos about guys that have already shared their knowledge on BMS, and the F-16 is such a complex system to learn, and really nice when you start mastering the systems. There's no way you can go back to anything else. It's really great actually to have a plane that has so much systems that you can actually see and use actually. A lot of things are modeled in BMS, which is surprising because this is a free mod for Falcon 4.0 actually, and everything is done by the community. So yes, some will criticize the fact that the terrain itself is a bit cubic. That's not really great from user perspective once you've been on DCS. This is HD mesh, so as you can see, the detail is really good. But I mean, they're going to work on the turn engine at some point, so that's going to change in the future. They're already looking for it to change the DirectX engine. So once that has been updated, BMS will benefit of the latest technologies in terms of rendering for the 3D models, and yeah, so that's going to be really a nice sim, such as for those who know, like IL-2 Cliff of Dover, and the group that is doing the I think Team Fusion, yeah, Team Fusion mod. They're already aiming for the version 5. I'm not a huge fan of Warbirds. I'm not really good at it actually. Let's face it, I suck at it. But the way they upgraded the sim itself is really great, and I just compare what people know about Team Fusion to the benchmark sim guys. They definitely, this group of people actually really made the sim a lot more realistic than it was at its early age. BMS new edition, have you inspired? Yeah. There's so much system modeled. There's really nothing to say about it. You have to test it. You have to, well, use it to see its full potential, and that's where you can actually, well, all these systems, the radar systems are modeled. There's a ground radar. There obviously there are a few bugs, but nothing you can handle. And most of the systems are actually modeled. And here, there's almost nothing that you cannot touch or use in the cockpit. There will be some stuff that will be simplified for obvious reasons, because the sim itself will not model it properly, and there's no way to model it properly. But I mean, this is the only sim I know that has an extended data link system, such as, for example, I can see my wingman. Well, now is out of the screen because obviously it landed. But the data link system itself, you can see what target, air target the others are pointing at. You can share mark points. You can share a lot of things actually. So it's just not only like the 18 where you can share a sensor point of interest, SPI. But you can definitely share more than that and send information through that link, such as targets to each wingman. So that's really great. And compared to other sims, there is one system that is not easy to use at the beginning, but once you get used to it, that is pretty efficient and I would say mandatory. It's the bullseye. Let's discuss about the bullseyes a bit. The bullseye is basically something that you have a reference point on the theater. It's on the map that you have that the HQ will use. So here you see the bullseye that you have, symbology, blue symbology, blue symbol that you have here. This is the bullseye. So north is this, we can't really see it but north is like almost behind us. This is this little flag. And so imagine that from this reference point, you just get south, north, west, east, and everything is referenced from this point. So whenever you have a target, for example, right now we know that as for the people that know a bit about VR systems, right now it's basically tracking your position from that reference point. So my current position is 52 nautical miles from bullseye at a bearing of 175. So that means that if I was again looking at my bullseye here, the thous, remember thous is about something like that. Oh, sorry, it's something like that. So I'm really close to the thous position towards the bullseye. But as you can see, it's progressing toward the 180 degrees. But yeah, actually I'm there. I'm 180. And it's 57 nautical miles from the bullseye. Now my cursor, if you check my cursor, so this is currently on my radar systems. So as you can see, whatever I'm pinpointing on my radar is currently being showed here in white. So I'm aiming right now at 183. This is the bearing, and distance is 98. And obviously, the closer I get from my plane, the closer I will be from the 61 nautical miles that I have here. I could do exactly the same for here, the map. As you can see, my cursor here has the in white the reference, and this is the current reference for my radar tracker. So this is whenever you want to have an information and you want to get back to the map, that's really essential to get that information from the map. All right, so now I need to get to the airport. Let me get back to my tracker AR. There we go, and I'm going to switch off all the automatic systems, reduce to idle, and there we go. There we go, we have the runways in the airport. I'll declare myself to the approach. So Falcon 1-1, pay me approach, requesting, well, vectors to the installations. Oh yeah, I need to be on uniform 15.
Falcon 1-2, turn right. Falcon 1-1, inbound for landing. Good morning, Falcon 1, pay me, approach, runway 20 left, welcome back.
Okay, so 20 left in service, Falcon 1-1.
Falcon 1-2 on final.
Alright, and I've got my wingman on final.
Altitude. Altitude.
I'll request a QNH.
Falcon 1, pay me, approach, 1037.
1037 over Falcon 1-1. There we go. So we'll go for, yeah, 1,500. And then we'll do...
Good morning, Falcon 1-1, pay me tower, clear for landing, runway 20 left.
Yeah, I'm
check
not ready for
down.
landing. I'll do a brake turn, and then I'll go to on... A bit too fast for my picture, but anyway. All right. There we go. All right.
Good morning, Falcon 1-2. Amy Tower, clear for landing. Runway 20 left. Check gear down.
All right, so now we're downwind.
Falcon 1-1. Execute missed approach. Vector 345. Contact approach.
And
Falcon 1-2. Abort landing. Contact approach for resequencing.
Seriously, you wrote it is landing? Oh well. Alright, so putting a bit more throttle now.
Falcon 1-2, inbound for landing.
Falcon 1-2. Climb to 4,000. Maintain 250 knots. Turn left heading 040. Vectors to left base. Runway 20 left.
Alright, there we go. Alright, putting a bit more power. Now turning back to the 20 left. Putting a bit more power because we're losing speed. There we go. We're on final. Falcon 1-1, final 20 left. A bit too high, to be honest.
Falcon 1-2. Descend to 3,000.
Let's try to aim for landing.
Falcon 1-1. Amy Tower. Next time, wait your turn.
I don't care. I don't wait my turn. I'm going to leave.
Falcon 1-2. Descend to 2,000. Maintain 230 knots. Turn left heading 295.
All right.
Falcon 1-1. Clear runway. Incoming traffic.
The next left taxiway. Falcon 1-1 runway vacated. All right, so let's taxi back. Okay. There we go. So we can already now start powering off some systems. We don't need that. We don't need that. I'll just need that here.
Falcon 1-2. Turn left to final approach course 200. Check approach speed.
That we can turn off now the recording system. Anti-collision off. That can be switched off to
Falcon 1-2, on final.
yes. There we go, and I can already switch off the hard points, radar altitude, don't need that. Okay, so let's turn here and park. Right, let's get here. Yup. Almost. There we go. Alright, so let's switch off everything. So let's request the chokes.
Good morning, Falcon 1-2. Amy Tower. Clear for landing. Runway 20 left. Check gear down.
Alright, that's powered off. Telling the guys that I'm going to shut off the systems. Radar off. Alignment off. GPS off. Data link off. UFC off. MFD off. Static off, MC off. I can eat. Oh, I forgot to put the probe heat actually. Alright, so now off. I'll open now the there we go. Falcon 1 leaving frequency goodbye. Alright, switching off the comms. And now pouring off the engine. As well as here, switch off the air source. Brightness. And now lights off. There we go. Where's our yeah, well, he didn't drop anything, unfortunately. There we go. We have a ladder, we have everything. And we have even some control checks on some of the site systems. Wow, that model is really, really nice. As you can see, the level of detail is really great. You also have the pins, like removed before flight. Oh wow. Mr. Janas did a really good job on this one. Really good job. Alright, so let's see what we did, and let's review the flight itself. So it's going to be a pretty smooth. Alright, so let's check while the flight is being recorded. Let me pull up the Tacview stuff. Yeah, it's being recorded right now. It's not that heavy, but I'll need to wait a bit before I'm able to use it. So bear with me a second. Meanwhile, if some of you guys have some questions, don't hesitate. I tend to have a lot of time on Falcon, so I might know stuff that you might need or might ask, and I'll gladly share my knowledge on Falcon. Oh, wow, that's really long. That was not a heavy mission, to be honest, so I hope this is not a sign of crash. Okay, nothing happening. I hope it's a matter of a couple. Yeah, there we go. All right, what did we do? Success. Obviously, yeah, I hit the runway anyway. Okay, so the AM. All right, I got 2 hits. Okay, I thought one was not. One did not destroy anything, to be honest. So maybe I hit exactly the same target. Okay, in terms of runway, I did the correct job. All right, so now let me get out of Falcon. Let's get the information and share now my screen. Hold on a sec. Blah, blah, blah. And where is my screen? display. Oh no, this was not the correct one. Hold on a sec. Bear with me. Display capture. All right, so main screen. Add existing. Okay, display 0. Okay. There we have our mission. Okay, so yeah, so it took me yeah, so here we are at the runway doorsteps. Preparing for takeoff. Okay, okay. Tacview is probably the best tool ever when it comes to analyzing your flight. If Tacview is free, but you can buy a license that grants you a bit more stuff, such as the full Earth view and a couple of other things, such as squadron analysis. That is awesome. Honestly, kudos to the guy that developed that. All right. Okay, so switching to the questions where we are watching at the replay. Does BMS is more realistic than the A10 DCS? The A10 on DCS is pretty extensive in terms of systems, so I wouldn't say that Falcon is better modeled than the A10. I would say it's as precise as the A10 is. The only main difference that you have here is that Falcon is a multi-role fighter, so it can do definitely ground attack, air-to-air defense, air-to-air attack, all those kind of stuff that the A10 itself is not able to do. And also, I'm coming from DCS actually. I started with the CAMOF. And then I got the A10 module, and one day I decided that, I discovered actually Falcon BMS. I knew Falcon 4.0 from back in the days, but it was like too old for me when you compare it to the to DCS, even the earlier versions of DCS. So what attracted me on the Falcon stuff is basically the air-to-ground radar is modeled. This is simply the best multi-role fighter available in any kind of sims that you have today. I mean, there's no sim that can provide you as much detail. And okay, so now we see that the Cowboy flight actually got the SA2 before we came in. That's what happened, yeah. And so BMS brings a bit more. It's basically you can do whatever the A10 is able to do, but much faster and in a more efficient way. The cockpit and the ODAS setting from the A10 is from the Warthog 2 actually, the one you have in DCS. The ODAS systems are extracted from the F16 methodology. So the F16 way of doing stuff on the stick is exactly, and the stick itself is the same from when you compare it from the F16 to the A10. The only difference is that sorry, the joystick of the F810 is a mechanical one, but the one from the F16 is a pressure based sensor on the stick. So that's the main difference. And yes, behind that you have a lot of systems that are modeled. The main major difference with DCS systems is that you can build easy missions in no time. You cannot go in details because there is no scripting stuff when it comes to BMS, obviously, but the dynamic campaign philosophy is, well, what I would have liked to see in DCS, and that they never wanted to implement actually. After discussing after with some of the developers from DCS, actually from BMS, sorry, they actually said that before we got to the before they got the sim up in Falcon 4.0, actually, they all right, so let's reduce a bit the speed while we see the first attack. Yes, BMS has they started developing the dynamic campaign module before anything else. So this is where you can see that it's definitely far advanced when it comes to the modeling of the whatever happens on the theater and the way that the units interact facing each other. It's not visible here because this is not a campaign mode, but during campaign, when you have multiple radar search systems, multiple SA2 systems, the BMS is able to ambush the planes and the players in the theater during the campaign. So basically, there's an SA2 somewhere, but the radar is not active, and at some point, it will pop up active just like below you, because the search radar you have in the vicinity already targeted you, and so they basically will pop up just below you as an ambush actually. And this is where it's really interesting, because you have to be careful when you go over enemy territory, because the SA2 will not become active like that. Sometimes they will wait the last minute to be active and launch directly the missile back to you. So this is where it's interesting in the way that the logic was implemented. And then obviously I do fly both sims, but when you go to the multiplayer style of playing in BMS, there are some stuff that are really missing in DCS, such as, for example, there's no way for DCS to have this. I don't feel exactly the same multiplayer experience in DCS and in BMS. BMS is awesome when it comes to online flights with squadrons, and the way that missions are implemented. It feels realistic in the way you approach it. But that's a personal opinion. I mean, not everyone will agree with what I say, obviously, because it can be it depends on everyone's taste actually. So, from my perspective, it suits me very well. But from other users, it might not be as, because some others will be more focused on the eye candy stuff. And so, yeah, I can understand that. But BMS brings me the information, well, the feelings in terms of warfare that I was looking for until now. All right, now we see the SA2 engagement. So those were the two first missiles launched at me. All right, yeah, that's what I heard. There were 3 different launches, and they were definitely lost track, and the missile got lost. All right, so now let's focus now on the air-to-air engagements. All right, flanking OT. So at some point they were odd on me, okay. All right, so I'm just wondering if I launched exactly this AM 120 to the same target actually. So I've launched the I went ballistic with my AM 120. As you can see, hold on, I'm just now posing the sim and checking my AM 120. So now the guys know they are engaged. and my AM-120 is still focusing on the target. Yeah, it has no more power, and oh, it's going to hit anyway. All right, so we got a good kill here. The other, okay, so we got overkill. The 2 AM-120 went to the same target, so that was a bit overkill. All right, so then I switch back to Fox 2. Let me switch back to my view. All right, so now I have him visual, and he's turning back and trying to face me. But once he's facing me, basically I just launch a Fox 2 straight to him. And let me focus now on the missile. And there's no way he's going to escape that. Boom. Because those were 9 X-ray, and those are killers when it comes to Fox 2, those kind of Fox 2 AM X-ray. 9 X-ray is killer. They have a detection range that is really wider than the classic ones, like the Lima ones or the Papa ones, and they're really agile. I mean, they can turn like more than 15 Gs or even more than that. It's well, it's tremendous. When it's probably the best dogfight weapon that exists today. All right, so now we see we enter the Patriot defense cone, and there we're back. All right, so I'm a bit. Brake turn, and there I land. There we go. So that's it for this evening, people. I definitely hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope that you're now I'm basically looking forward to have more people streaming BMS. This is a great sim. I mean, in terms of investment, regarding the investment and the joy that you will get out of it, it's like the best $9 you will ever invest on that. You'll have to get BMS. You'll have to get the original Falcon 4.0 that you can find either on Google Games or whatever you can find on the sources. And the pricing, I mean, lately it was like I know people that got the license lately to like less than $3. So go for it, people. It's really inexpensive. The learning curve is you'll have let's say a difficult. There is a learning curve to get with Falcon BMS. There are a few people that we recommend. You will find plenty of videos over YouTube regarding that. I would strongly advise that you focus on the F-16. The F-16, every plane that you'll find in the game, actually in the sim, are based with the avionics of the F-16. Even the Mirage versions that you have in BMS are based on the F-16 avionics. Doesn't prevent the fact that the flight models, basically the F-16 flight model is probably one of the most accurate in the sim, and with the Mirage has a really advanced flight model for in BMS. I discussed in back in the days with some of the real Mirage pilots in France, and the guys admitted that they found exactly the same behavior and the same feeling that they had with the real plane. So when it comes to BMS, the Mirage, I know a couple squadrons that do fly with the Mirage because it's pretty damn accurate when it comes to the flight model. The avionics are not accurate because of the F-16 spirit and avionics behind it, but any plane such as the F-18, for example, as most of its systems shared, let's say likely with the F-16, so it makes sense that it definitely matches some of the system that this F-16 has, and that's not really inaccurate in some ways. And then when it comes to learning curve, I mean, there will be a lot focused first on trying to fly the plane, learning how to it behaves, because it has like the Airbus a couple things, a couple let's say um, overall laws that it follows, where either if you're in cruise, if you're in climb mode, or if you're in landing stage, or if you have some outages in the hydraulic systems or electronic systems, the F-16 will revert its flight controls back to basic handling, which reacts a bit more to the joystick inputs, because everything in the F-16 is electronic when it comes to flight inputs. So yeah, definitely try to learn handling the plane, and when it comes to getting used to the avionic systems, go step by step. There are useful missions you find in the manuals from BMS itself. You'll find good missions that will help you learning those different weapon systems, and also there is a great documentation. There's a really awesome manual, hundreds and hundreds of pages of system explained, um, that you can actually browse through and learn from it. So don't be afraid to learn from it, to read a lot, to watch a lot on YouTube, and ask a lot of questions. I mean, do send me PMs. You can either from on Twitch or on YouTube, or if you have my contacts on Discord, then go ahead, pop up questions. I'll gladly answer those questions if I can. And if you're willing to, well, if you feel confident enough to fly, I mean, I'm open to flying with you guys at some point if you want to have this real squadron spirit experience. All right, so I'm done with the talking. I talk a lot, although, well, it's because probably I'm part French and Italian. Those two mixed together is obviously I would start speaking a lot. But there's no limit to passion when it comes to flying those planes, and I definitely want to share my experience with that. All right, so hope you enjoyed the stream as always, and see you soon. And hope to stream probably this weekend if I can. All right, people, enjoy your day, evening, or night, and see you soon. Bye bye.